Welcome once again to your weekly update from the City of New Hope. Special guest with us this week to bring you up to date. It is Councilmember John Elder. Welcome, John. How are you today?
I'm fabulous. How are you, sir?
I'm very good. Thanks for taking a few minutes with us to update residents on what's happening in New Hope and what might
Yeah,
be coming up. First, we want to talk a little bit about energy for people's homes. And you have something called the Home Energy Squad that you partner with. Give us a little background here and tell us how residents can get involved.
absolutely. We have a contract with the Center for Energy and Environment, CEE, and they come out to homes and they will go through your home and look for areas where you are not being energy efficient, whether it's a programmable thermostat, they'll put those in, whether it's weather stripping around your windows or your doors, large holes in the ceiling area, in closets where you have venting and piping going up. They'll seal those off. They do an incredible amount of work in each home, and the city pays for a large portion of this.
Mhm.
And it's really a great thing. I've had it done at my home, and I was amazed at everything they were able to do to help bring down my energy bill.
All right. And if you'd like to find out more information, let's give you a website here. It's mncee.org. You can find out more there and you can get connected to their services and maybe see if they can come check out your house in this rather warm winter we're having. Local Affordable Housing Aid Program, another way to help homeowners in the area. Tell us a little bit more about this.
Yeah, Hennepin County ended up doing a sales tax addition that's going on. It's actually through the Met Council, and it went into effect October 1st of 2023. And cities with over 10,000 people qualify for it. And so cities will be getting a chunk of money each year to help with affordable housing costs. And New Hope will receive $316,721 for aid in 2024.
All right, more on that as that moves along the process. We talk on a regular basis about scattered site housing programs. We've got one house to talk about, and things are really moving along on this property on Louisiana.
Yeah, they have done such a nice job on that. The tentative completion at 3611 Louisiana Avenue North is slated for May. They'll finish the house and then get it closed on in May of 2024. Each of these scattered site houses are usually, uh, there's an agreement to buy by the time the sheetrock is even up.
Mhm.
So these are people that want to live in the metro, live close to all the amenities, and are able to find houses at decent prices. So it's a great way to really be able to provide another level of housing here in New Hope for our residents.
Next department to provide a little update on is Public Works. You're going to hear a little bit of theme here in Public Works and then in Park and Rec about the Emerald Ash Borer. I know it's been quite the issue for cities to deal with. New Hope not alone on that. Tell us a little bit about the progress so far, but there's a lot more to come.
In 2023, we removed about 1,000 trees. And those are trees that are in the parks, on the boulevard, right of ways, things like that, that the city and their contractor has taken down. And we've spent about $800,000 on this program so far. And we figure as we index each of the trees in the city, we have about 2,000 more to take down. We're getting to them as quick as we can. It's amazing the number of calls we're getting at City Hall with people asking, hey, when can my tree come down? When can this tree come down? And they're working as quick as they can. We're getting additional trees taken down, thankfully, because our public works isn't spending their time out plowing roads and things like
Mhm.
that. So the money comes out of our street infrastructure, the street fund, as well as the parks fund. And we're in pretty good shape now for our parks. We've gotten the vast majority of those removed. But we're really getting hit on those boulevard trees. And we're taking those down and we're getting them replanted again as quickly as we can. We saw a spike in prices for trees, and we're working through a contractor or through a nursery actually to make sure that we're able to get replacement trees as cheaply as possible and still have them be really good trees. The other interesting thing to that is to help in the future as we move forward, we're planting a variety of trees. We're not, you know, putting them all over to elms or to any other particular tree. Where we have a whole variety of different types of trees we're putting in. So in case there is another run through of a particular type of tree that's getting hit with bugs or disease or whatever, we'll be able to hopefully cut down on the numbers of any mono species tree that we're putting up.
You mentioned a lot of that work is in the boulevards. What about for residents that might have trees on their own property that are wondering, what do I do next? What is some advice from the city on that?
Those trees, unfortunately, are the responsibility of the homeowner to remove. And you can certainly contact the city and ask for a list of tree vendors, tree removal vendors that are in the area. However, we can't recommend one or another. If you see a tree company working in your area and you have a tree that needs to come down, talk to those folks and see if, hey, since you're in the area, what would it cost to bring this tree down and removed? And that's, you know, we've seen people getting really good deals,
Right.
because the tree company is right next door and maybe they have 3 hours left in their day, and you know, or a little more time later in the week that they're in the area, that they're able to go ahead and not have to move all their equipment large areas
Mhm.
to be able to get more business.
If you'd like more information about that, go to the city's website, newhopemn.gov. They have information there about what is going on with the trees and the emerald ash borer. Let's now move to Park and Rec for some fun of what's happening out around town. And unfortunately, not too much fun on the outdoor skating rinks right now, John. It's a little bit of a mess out there.
Yeah, New Hope, like every other um, city in the area, with the exception of, say, Maple Grove, that has the one ice rink that is cooled from the bottom. Uh, our ice rinks are closed. They're closed until further notice. It's unfortunately a mess.
Let's look ahead to some brighter times here. The city staff, Park and Rec staff, looking way ahead. So tell me about the process they have to go through now to really get things set up for spring and even summer.
With as many parks as New Hope has, it's amazing to think that they're filling up quickly with softball teams and baseball teams and soccer teams. And so right now our our park and rec staff, excuse me, is so busy working on filling all of the outdoor athletic facilities so that, you know, people can have them, people can make sure they're available and ready for them. We can have them striped properly. It's a much bigger process than I ever thought it could be, but they do an incredible job, and they're serving a lot of different groups.
And the mayor has mentioned in the past couple of weeks, they're working on this brochure for the upcoming seasons as well. So be watching for this in your mail and at City Hall, because it will tell you about some of those activities coming up.
Yeah.
Let's talk a little bit about the golf course for a minute. And with the warm weather, people could have almost been out regular golfing, but there was a special winter golf event. How did that go this past weekend?
Yeah, last Saturday we had the annual winter golf event, and we hosted over 100 people that came out to play a modified 6-hole round. And instead of using golf balls, they used tennis balls. And instead of putting it into a hole, you ended up having to get it close enough to a pin that was placed into the fairway. And we do it every single year. Now, last year we had so much snow, we had to go through and blow paths through the snow so people would be able to at least even make it down to the hole. So the people had a great time. It was just a great event, a typical Parks and Recs event, well received. Our community loves to use the parks and the golf course and the hockey arena and the pool. It's a neat event.
Great to hear it was a success. A little bit more about the golf course in just a second, but Park and Rec also involved in the Emerald Ash Borer. You mentioned it a little earlier. Let's just highlight it again as far as tree replacements. Again, you're trying to help residents with some options here if they're interested in tree replacements. Tell us a little more.
Yeah, people are able to, if they have a tree removed, the city will replace it if it's, again, in the public right away. And as people want to select their trees, someone may say that they want a particular type of tree. If it's on the list and that list is relatively expansive, people will be able to have a say in what type of tree goes back into that area. And they're planning now for the spring plantings.
Some replacement lists that go out to residents. So again, go to the city's website, newhopemn.gov. You can find out more about that replacement list. You mentioned the golf course. Let's hop back over there. As far as just general use of that facility right now, always a great place for people to have wintertime parties, right?
Yeah, and even year round, all three of my kids, when they graduated from high school, that's where we had their graduation party. And people use it. Companies use the golf course, clubhouse for business meetings, for business events. We just had a baby shower there over the weekend. So it really is a great location for people to host smaller events. And if you do it during the summer and spring and fall, you have the outdoor patio. It's really it's a great place to host an event. People should consider that.
And as I understand, space books up pretty quickly. So if you're interested in a particular date, think about that right now. One last place in Park and Rec that's very busy at this time of the year is the ice arena. So inside, the ice is just fine, and it seems that everybody's out there skating.
Yeah, as I became a council member, I was amazed to learn the number of national tournaments that are hosted at our arena. And over the past 12 months, every single NHL team has had scouts at our arena in New Hope, scouting out players and looking at people in tournaments. Having these national tournaments come along with all of our cooperative agreements with Armstrong Cooper Youth Hockey Association and the different hockey associations that call our arena home. They're staying incredibly busy. They're doing a nice job on upkeep, and the ice is good.
All right. So if you're interested in skating, don't go outside, go inside right now. That's the place to be.
Absolutely.
Councilmember Elder, thank you so much for taking a few minutes with us today, bringing us up to date on some things happening around the city. And we want to leave you with the calendar of events here. Here's some other things that might be coming up in the near future for you to get involved in. Again, Councilmember Elder, thank you very much. We'll talk to you again next week.
Thank you so much for your time.
Learn more about the connection at ccxmedia.org and follow us on social media.